Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Eloise. Today we're going to talk about Vanagloria from the Italian niche perfume house Laboratorio Olfattivo. So Vanagloria was released in 2021. The nose behind this fragrance is none other than Dominique Ropion. So I read reviews about Vanagloria, and it was basically described as a smoky vanilla with incense and resins. And that sounds like something that interests me. So I ordered a full bottle and I've been wearing it for the last couple of weeks, and I'm ready to talk about this. So let's talk first about the presentation. So Vanagloria arrived in this box here with a gold plaque which has the name of the perfume house, Laboratorio Olfattivo, as well as the name of the fragrance, of course, and the name of the nose behind the fragrance, Dominique Ropion. So we open it up. It's very simple. It's velvet on the inside. This was in here, and it basically says Laboratorio Olfattivo. It is the master's collection. And in this velvet lined part of the box is the fragrance. I think the bottle I would consider pretty simple. It has some nice weight to it. I think the label is also simple. It just says Laboratorio Olfattivo and Vanagloria. And this is a 100 ml bottle, and it's an eau de parfum. The cap is not magnetic, which is okay. I like magnetic caps, I can't lie. But it has some weight, so it's nice. All in all, it's a simple presentation, nothing over the top. So now let's spray this. Very nice atomizer. I feel like it disperses a nice amount of perfume. So it opens kind of bright and peppery and smoky and kind of musky. And it takes a little while before the incense starts to come through. But as it dries down, it only takes a few minutes. The incense starts to rear its head. And that's where I was thinking, what does this remind me of? Now, I can't lie. Of course, I read and heard that this is like basically an alternative to YSL's Babycat. And I have that right here for some comparison. So I did know that going in, but I didn't expect it to be as similar as it is. But although it's similar, we're going to talk about it. It does go in a different direction. Yeah, so the incense starts to come through. And you have the sweetness from the vanilla. It's smoky, but it has a clarity to it, if that makes sense. It doesn't have the denseness that Babycat has. It's peppery. It has a muskiness to it. You have the saffron, no doubt. You get that right from the beginning as well. It gives it that leathery touch. It's nice. It smells really nice. It's a smoky vanilla with incense that's kind of musky at the same time, and also leathery. So it's not a gourmand, overly sweet, vanillic fragrance, and I was not looking for something that was like gourmand vanilla. I like vanilla in fragrances, and I love fragrances that focus on vanilla, but I like ones like this that kind of take a vanilla and make it smoky and spicy. I wouldn't describe this as something complex. I think it's a simple, peppery, smoky vanilla fragrance with incense that's a little musky. And although saffron gives a leathery facet to the fragrance, it's not overdone. So it's not coming off as a vanilla leather fragrance. I think the incense is a big part of this fragrance. And as it was drying down and more of the incense comes through, I was trying to wrap my head around what this smells like. Aside from Babycat, it's familiar to Babycat, yes, but it was reminding me of something else, and then it came to me. So if Yves Saint Laurent's Babycat and Matière Premier's Encens Suave had a baby, it would be Laboratorio Olfattivo's Vanagloria. That's what I get from this. So I had Matière Premier's Encens Suave, and I really struggled with the decision to declutter it from my collection soon after buying it, actually. I really, really like the idea of the incense, and there was a coffee note in that fragrance along with the vanilla. Very sweet, very incense-forward fragrance, to the point that as much as I loved it and could appreciate it, I think the incense was a bit too much for me, and I realized I wasn't going to wear it. So I ultimately did get rid of it. And I struggled with that decision. And I think that Vanagloria sort of fills the gap between Babycat and Encens Suave. So now I have something that has incense in it, there's some sweetness, but it's not overly incensey to the point where I feel like it's not wearable and to the point where I feel like it's uncomfortable to my nose. Yeah, Vanagloria to me is a lot about the vanilla and the incense, and you have the smoky facets and again, the saffron giving the leathery facets. So let's compare it to Babycat, which is here, a fragrance that is a love of mine. In fact, I ordered the larger size as either a backup bottle or I may sell this one off. I haven't really made too much of a dent, but I really do love the fragrance. I feel like I've been like hoarding it. So I'm gonna spray this on my left wrist. Yeah, so this opens differently. Right off the bat, this is saffron and vanilla. It's peppery and it is for sure denser than Vanagloria. And I didn't mean for this video to be a comparison between the two fragrances, but there are so many similarities, and being that I own Babycat, I thought it would be a good reference point to sort of compare the two. So it's amazing when you compare two fragrances side by side, how certain notes totally stand out because of the comparison. Vanagloria has a pineapple accord. I would have never picked up on that just by smelling the fragrance. But when I compare it side by side to Babycat, I do get this slight tinge of something a little bitter. It's very, very subtle in the distant background that sort of cuts through the fragrance. But again, the incense comes through so much in Vanagloria that pineapple accord really doesn't have much of a role at all. There's nothing about this that's fruity or sour. It's just there, part of the mix. And while they both open as vanillic, saffron, peppery, smoky fragrances, I would say that the two fragrances, as they begin to dry down, they take on some different paths while sharing a lot of the same qualities, and they do smell similar. You have Babycat that's more leathery, more suede-like, denser, maybe even more woody in the dry down, while Vanagloria is more incense forward. It's a little more musky. It's not as dense, and maybe has a vibe that's a little more casual than Babycat, which I think to me is a little more of a sexy, dressed up vibe. So Babycat was released in 2022, and as a lot of you probably know, the nose behind Babycat is also Dominique Ropion. So that does beg the question, was it intentional that the two fragrances are so very similar? I don't know. Both fragrances feature bourbon vanilla. With both fragrances, I would say they're not overly sweet. I think Dominique Ropion in both fragrances does a great job of keeping the vanilla from overtaking the fragrance. There is the question of whether these are redundant in my perfume collection. And at first I thought no, because Vanagloria does have the incense that Babycat absolutely does not have. Vanagloria is more musky, while Babycat is denser and more leathery, and I see it as the more serious, maybe more dressy approach to the scent profile. I feel like Vanagloria is a little more lighthearted. I feel like it lends itself to a more casual wear, basically. Is it redundant? It's not. If I want to keep a vanilla that's smoky, that has incense, I don't have a fragrance with incense in my perfume collection. So I am going to hold on to this for now, but there is a big part of me that feels that they are quite similar, to the point that where I have this vanilla saffron fragrance and I'm in the mood to wear vanilla saffron fragrance, am I going to choose this one because of the incense over Babycat, which I'm going to own a big bottle of very soon, actually. That the 100 ml size bottle is kind of reasonable. I think it's around $180. If we're comparing it to Babycat, since it is part of this video at this point, I believe that the 100 ml size is way over 300, maybe 350. I'm not exactly sure. I think that the 100 ml of Babycat is above $300, while for 100 ml here with the Vanagloria, a fragrance with great performance and longevity, and sillage actually, I think that it's probably a better value for those that might have a hard time finding Babycat. So this is Vanagloria by Laboratorio Olfattivo. I would definitely recommend it to those who want something maybe a little muskier than Babycat, maybe a little more casual, or maybe to those who are having a hard time finding a bottle of Babycat. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, in terms of longevity, I got a good 8 hours where I could absolutely smell this on myself throughout the day. And like I said earlier, the incense is still a part of the fragrance all the way to the dry down. So it really does maintain that smoky vanilla incense scent profile all the way to the dry down. So Vanagloria by Laboratorio Olfattivo. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you enjoyed my review on Vanagloria by Italian perfume house Laboratorio Olfattivo. Let me know if you've tried this fragrance and what you think and what your thoughts are. Until next time, bye guys.